Hello traders, welcome to the weekly update. I wanted to get this video out before Monday morning because lots of things look to be happening and I want you guys to be prepared for price movements. So in today's video we'll take a look at the dollar, the VIX, gold, all of our main indicators. We'll quickly cover this SPY, which is right on track. We'll go into the dominance chart, cover total 3, and then end with Bitcoin. It should be a fairly quick video if I do this right. Alright, so I'm going to jump right into the charts today. We're looking at the dollar. As I said previously, the dollar is in this bearish ascending wedge. However, it is my belief that we are going to hit this 107 mark before we fall out of this wedge. And so I think we're right on track to do so. In fact, you can see that there's a little bit of a bull flag here on the dollar. So once we break out of that to the upside, we'll hit that 107 target and then down to the bottom side of this ascending megaphone pattern. All right, and then after that I see us breaking to the downside once again. I don't know how long that takes, but that is my expectation with the dollar. You can see down here on the RSI portion that we are nearing overbought territory. I don't think this will drop until we hit that 107 mark. All right, on the VIX, the VIX has spiked, and as I spoke about previously, we broke this descending trend line, spiked all the way up to our resistance point of 21 and came back down quickly. Now I think what may occur here is that we come back down to retest the top of this descending trend line, and that may give the stocks a pause on their pullback here. But I don't know for sure. Actually, I should take this arrow and go from the close of the last candle here on the VIX. So we'll come back down and test the top of this before proceeding upwards further. And again, we'll probably retest that resistance point of 21. All right, next on the list here is gold. And as I spoke about previously, we have this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, the neckline of which has been broken, and that is causing this big increase in gold price. The target here on GLD is somewhere around 232, and we are well on our way as precious metals, commodities, and real estate continue to spike anything in those sectors. All right. And so with the dollar spiking, the VIX spiking, precious metals, commodities spiking, we can expect stocks to be pulling back. And in fact, that is what they are doing. Now I said we are going to at least retest the top of this red channel, probably come back down into the red channel and test the bottom of it, maybe even pulling back into this yellow area. Because of the rapidity or the rapidness of this drop, I am now under the assumption that, or the belief that we are going to come into this yellow area and potentially down to the bottom of this channel. I'm not sure how far we'll go, but possibly testing the bottom of this yellow channel. Now, the reason I believe that is because we still have a little ways up to go on the dollar, a little ways up to go on the VIX, and a little ways up to go on gold and precious metals, commodities. All right, so with those things continuing to spike, we can expect further pullback in the market here. So again, now my target is down here. Now with stocks pulling back, that is going to cause our Bitcoin to pull back or possibly just move sideways because of the new traction, Hong Kong ETF and the demand from the ETFs. And also, of course, we are now post-halving, which makes it even more of a rare asset class. All right, so demand is not only increasing for Bitcoin, but less supply is available. At some point in the future, we are going to, you can expect a big old golden candle. That is one of those big old long golden candles on Bitcoin. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Now let's go over to the dominance chart. And we did, again, break this trend line, which comes all the way back here. Let me put it in auto here real quick so I can get the date for you on this particular trend line. Man, it goes all the way back. I don't even know if my, yeah. Oh, right. All right. So on this one, we have never broken this. This comes from 2016. All right. So we have never broken this trend line until just recently. All right. Now we have broken that, and it looks like we are coming back down to test the top side of that trend line. All right. So does that mean alts are going to spike? No, not necessarily. It just means that alts are probably going to, and we've seen this past weekend, alts remained pretty strong in comparison to Bitcoin pullback this past week. And we'll talk about that in just a bit. So I do think that Bitcoin dominance is going to come down and test the top of that line. And again, that just means relative to Bitcoin, altcoins are going to stay pretty stable, pretty strong, and not fall apart whenever Bitcoin recedes. It seems like, Bitcoin drops just a little bit, and alts just fall apart, and people in those long positions get destroyed. All right, and this is the total three representing all the altcoins excluding Ethereum. And you can see I have this trend line drawn. This looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. And if that is correct, then the target down would be right to where we went, which was the 100-day moving average. So I think alts are fairly safe. I think we've had our drops in the alts. And again, this means that I don't think alts are going to go lower than what they already had, than the wick low that they printed this last week with that massive drop. All right. And I do think that alts will hold up along with Bitcoin. So let's just jump over to Bitcoin now and just talk about Bitcoin quickly for the coming week. Let's see, where is my Bitcoin? I'm missing it. All right, there it is. All right, so Bitcoin here. Previously, I talked about this little pattern that looked like it could be some kind of a Bitcoin or a Wyckoff, Wyckoff distribution. All right, triple top Wyckoff distribution. I don't care what you call it. We're seeing weakness around this area. All right. And so I wasn't really sure whether my multi-year support resistance trend line, this black line here, which tracks all the way over here, we've had so many retests of that line, and so far it has held up. And as I've told all of my followers, as long as we remain on the top side of that, I am long. However, I'm growing more and more suspicious that this line will hold up. All right, so we've had a test over here once with a wick down, held the first time easily. Second time was also easy. Third time we've had a hit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 candle hits. All right, we dropped here on, excuse me, guys, Wednesday, but could not confirm a move below that trend line. All right, so the next candle was a big green candle, which took us right back above. Now we were still in this particular downtrend channel, which I'm going to delete because we broke to the top side of that. Now it's no longer relevant. However, on the weekly chart, let me just jump over to the weekly. We see how that line moves, and we're still on the underside of that line from a weekly perspective. All right, so that could prove that we still have a downtrend to continue. And as I said, let's just get rid of this garbly gook, go back to the daily here. We have two potential targets. That's this purple ascending line here. Let me delete this real quick, this red mark. Sorry guys, while I'm doing a video, I'm also cleaning my charts. I'm going to thicken this purple line so you can see exactly where that is. That's ascending trend line. So if we break to the downside of my multi-year support, we're going to at least come down to around 55,000. That's the first target that I have. The second target is this neckline here at 48,400. And that, again, if I zoom out here, we have a big old massive inverse inverse head and shoulders pattern, and that's taking us to a target of around 80,000 for that particular pattern to play out. However, we do have some consideration here with this potential either, I don't care what you want to call it, triple top, Wyckoff distribution, and we're definitely seeing weakness in this area right around my trend line. All right, so if that breaks, you can expect one of these two, potentially both of these target downs to be hit, to be nailed. All right, and so that's what I'm seeing. But as long as we stay to the top side of this, guys, you know from my trade tracker that I am in long, and I'm just simply right now tightening my stops as we go, you know, capturing as much profit as possible in those particular trades. All right, so really quick video. I just wanted to give you a recap of what took place and what we can potentially expect. It looks like we have for sure further pullback in the U.S. stock markets. Yeah, something could occur newsworthy wise geopolitically that gives us some positive news, and then I'm wrong about that and we just turn direction. But gold and precious metals and commodities are telling me we still got further up to go on that spike. Dollar looks like we have further up to go. VIX looks like we could go further up. And when all of those things are up, excuse me, stocks are down. All right, and Bitcoin will generally follow stocks. Now, because of halving and because of greater demand, instead of following stocks down, Bitcoin could just trend sideways. All right, could just go sideways for the next few months. As long as it stays above that trend line that I have drawn there, I am bullishly biased with a little bit of skepticism at this point. And again, my stops being tightened are reflecting that. I'm ready in case we do collapse below that. And alts are looking good, as I stated in the video here. I think alts are I think we've set our lows for the alts. We could go down again and form a double bottom on the alts pattern. Let's take a look at that real quick so you can see what I'm talking about there. Hotkey is not working. Here we go. All right, so this is Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin just continues to travel sideways, not breaking my line, which is definitely a possibility. Alts, depending on what Bitcoin, how far it wicks down, alts could just form a W pattern here. All right, let me just draw that out so you can see how it would look, and just form a double bottom. All right, so again, having hit our target down on total 3, and I think I see the same thing on many alts, we could just track down alts having formed their bottoms, and then you guys just hold tight in your positions, and you should be okay. But if you get stopped out, so the way I'm going to play it is, if I get stopped out, I'm going back in immediately. I don't want to miss out on any move up. These are really good prices to be buying at, and we're entering oversold territory on many alts. So that is my strategy going forward these next few weeks. Hopefully that is helpful. We'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all.